Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is 3:30 p.m., and I'm calling this meeting of the Maple Broadband Executive Committee to order for February 12th, 2025. Happy February. So the first item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Moved by Nancy. Can I get a second? Second from Shannon. Would anyone like to make any edits to the agenda? All right. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the agenda as distributed, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Okay. Sai, by the way, welcome to the Executive Committee as a voting member.
So exciting.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, we have an agenda. So next up is approval of the minutes from January 23rd. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second from anyone?
Second.
Okay. Any comments on the minutes? All right. All in favor of the minutes, raise your hand or say aye. Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I guess I should abstain.
Okay. So we have Steve and Shannon have voted to approve, Nancy and Sai have abstained. Okay, public comments. Would anyone like to make a public comment at this time? Careful what you say. Okay, hearing none. Over to you, Steve, for the chair report.
Some items that are of consequence to me, but I just wanted to say this. I'm going to probably say it again when Jeff is back, and this is a harkens back from our early days at Maple Broadband, and this is what I called at the time on SLA, service level agreement. So just kind of a reminder, a gentle reminder. Everyone's behaving really well in this regard, but the request is that seeking responsiveness from the executive committee in that you reply to an email or a communication by the end of the following business day. And so the notion here isn't that if I were to ask you to do something by tomorrow, you don't need to do it by tomorrow. What you do need to do is notify me that you don't have the time to do it until tomorrow, and it's going to take a few more days. So what you've done is you've replied, you've responded. And so it's intended just to make sure that we're keeping an eye on our emails, and you never know when you're going to need something really serious. And so just kind of bear that in mind. And since Jeff isn't here, I'll reiterate that when he gets on the next call he's on. Let's leave it at that. I've got plenty of other things to talk about as we go through it on the agenda.
Okay, that sounds good. So, any questions for Steve? I guess not. That was pretty straightforward. Pretty simple report, Steve. Okay, so executive director report. So I think most of you, except for Nancy, were at the governing board last night. So I just wanted to repeat for Nancy's benefit, one of the things I said at the governing board last night is that I think pretty much my top priority right now is getting that 2023 audit closed out. So I've been liaising with Darlene and Lynn as well. And so I've suggested that we meet daily or almost daily until we get through this. So we're having our first meeting tomorrow. I'm almost done with what I understand at this moment I need to do, but that can change. But just wanted to acknowledge that's a really critical piece. We have an executive session next, so some of what I'm working on we can talk about in executive session. Actually, I think go ahead, Steve.
I'm coming late to this, I'm sorry. I would like to see one other item added to the agenda, if we can do it after we've already approved it, is to have a conversation about the finance committee.
Sure, we can put that
Other
under
business.
8. Yeah, under other business. That's
Perfect.
literally why we have it on the agenda. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I think other than what I want to talk about in executive session, the other items is this was my first month doing the ledgers by myself in the new process, and and working with Lynn on getting the dashboard out. I think it worked fairly smoothly, although poor Lynn, I really feel like she's drinking from the fire hose, but she was fantastic. We had a call last week Friday, and I think for both of us, it probably took a little bit more time this month, and as we go through, it'll get more efficient. So from my side, at least, but we did No, actually, I'm lying. We did not submit the grant reports because the VCB has not yet managed to get the grant reporting system and Amplifund up yet, but we have the information ready to submit the grant reports. We have the ledgers and everything. So that's all done at least. And then I also discussed yesterday in the governing board meeting the various bills that are moving through the legislature that relate to broadband. I don't think we need to repeat it here, but I'll post the recording later today, Nancy, so you can listen to that.
Okay.
But that's obviously taking up not a huge amount of time, but it's important and it's pertinent. So that's it for my public report. Questions? Okay, Steve, over to you.
I move to find that premature general public knowledge regarding Maple Broadband's business strategy would clearly place us at a substantial disadvantage because it risks disclosure of our activities if they were to be communicated to the public. Is there a second?
Second.
And we have a third too. Thank you. I move that we enter into executive session to discuss business strategy under Title 1, Section 313, subsection A of the Vermont statutes. Is there a second? Well, we got lots of seconds. Okay, great. Thank you. I guess turn off the recording and we'll proceed.
I think just for the record, we're inviting, I guess actually everyone here is an officer, so we're good. Okay, I'm stopping the recording.